Find the elevator shaft. Get to the lower floors of the building. Alright. Oh yeah, that was another thing. A lot of advertisements used to have like shadow people in them. Go back and look at that stuff. It's pretty cool. Like Xbox 360, I think, was probably the best example of what shit looks like. You know, kind of how the culture was. Also, yeah, big pirate ships and shit like that. They are in the boardroom. They got their CDs, got their analysis, CD-ROM, City Interactive Cup. Yeah, they like to put their branding everywhere. It's the old City Interactive logo. I like that logo. It's pretty good. Like, it's playful, you know. It's something that all these flat designs just completely are devoid of. Playfulness. There's nothing playful about any of these designs that you see nowadays. The whole Windows 8, you know, and all that. Windows 8 from Microsoft, I think, was like the last operating system that was kind of playful. It was like the early Metro where they just started slowly but surely weaning out the old design they had. You know, they don't show you real places around the world. They'll just maybe do something like this. Very sterile and boring. Like, it's not even that good looking. I mean, hell, you could make most of the shit they make in like fucking Microsoft Paint in like 3 minutes. Or more like 3 seconds, because all it takes is just get a flat color. Whatever color you're feeling like today. Get some white text, and you're done. And, you know, preferably make the text hard as fuck to read by putting light colors on light text. And you just get like a sterile white text, and then you get like a very bright color, so it makes it even harder to fucking read. Like, don't do black text, because nobody wants to see black text for some reason. No, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have contrasting colors that make this shit easier to fucking see at a glance. No, no, no. If you have a black background, you need to put black text on it. And if you have a white background, you need to put white text on it. That's just the way it is. We need to make this shit harder for people for no fucking reason other than we feel like it today. So, you know, that's just the corporate motto. No fun allowed. And you better get bad eye strain. The whole flat UIs tend to make people about 22% less effective. Science has proven. If you're curious, go look it up. It's not even just a personal taste thing. It's quite statistical, numeric data. So if you're curious as to the ramifications of these horrible designs, well, 22% less effective human productivity, if that helps. Literally slowing people down by 22%. Thanks, Microsoft. Alright, off we go. Yeah, I like these little marks on the stairs, too. Like when I walk past this, right, there's like dirt and, scum on the stairs. It's kind of pixelated, but I admire the attention to detail. As well as this, like, slight depth of field thing. Or maybe that's just the light, but, you know, it has a slight purplish tint towards the outside. And then this, no, that is depth of field, with the sight hits the wall and stuff. Alright, stack up here. Slow-mo with the door. Alright. Goodbye. This phone machine has been pre-shot. Oh yeah. They have an animated fan too. There you go. Oh. I think the blades went for a ride. Well, yeah, those blades went for a ride. I think they just did that whole fucking Wile E. Coyote bit where they're still walking and then they look down and then they see there's no ground below them and then they fall. Good attention to detail anyway. That's what I get when I talk about cartoon shit. And when you shoot through here, there's actually 2 different bullet impact points. One in the glass and then one in the sand. I miss seeing this in games too, this like, you know, sand office pattern thing. Anyway, off we go. Oh no, it's a demon lady. Alright, over here we go. Oh, those are friends? No, those are our friends. Apparently there's just another SAS squad over there. Yeah. I saw over there, it said fire at will. Alright. Gonna not let them get away. Alright, here we go. To the pipes. Kicking in the door. Nice cameras too. Why they got cameras in the bathrooms? Alright. Ammo for this gun. Is this their workout gym or something? I didn't know they had a gym here. Oh, alright. Cool lighting with this fan, too. That's another thing I miss seeing in games. They don't do those anymore. That's the thing with, like, graphics in games. I would rather a game look consistently good across the board with everything than look like some lazy PS2, PS1 shit that just looks awful. Like, there's no excuse for games to look fucking bad these days. There was no excuse for this shit to look bad in, like, 2015, but, you know, people always find them. Oh, it's an art style thing. No, it's you're a lazy piece of shit and you don't want to finish your fucking graphics. Same thing I saw with, like, the Spider-Man movies that Sony been pumping out with fucking Morales, whatever the fuck you say his name. Miles of unfinished dropped frames. Like, I was looking at this shit, I thought the frame rate was busted. But no, they did it to try and make it look like a comic book. Yeah, last time I checked, a comic book didn't look like a fucking stuttery piece of shit, but, you know, to each their own. Like with Wreck-It Ralph, I understood that. Like there were some different generations of video game characters all next to each other, and the more pixely ones had a lower frame rate or were, animated and modeled to look like lower polygon counts were just cartoonish proportions. Like Fix-It Felix has a lower polygon count. They made a joke about that because he has, kind of more cartoony proportions where his face is big and he got big teeth, right? Or Wreck-It Ralph. He's more low polygon because he's a big dude. Well, and then you have like the space lady, who is in what was that Hero's Duty. Well, she's higher polygon because she just looks more like a normal person or whatever. Um, I liked that, that kind of bit as a joke. Like clearly the people who made that movie did knew what they were fucking talking about and doing. And this was at a time when video games and movies were kind of treated as like a joke, or there's just that guy who doesn't, who plays video games and they make some shitty fake one. There wasn't much respect paid to actual video games, or often if there was, it was just some weird out of touch corporate like mobile game tie-in thing, or like a movie game tie-in, which nowadays people will look at and be like, oh shit, this was actually good. Because back then people had much higher quality standards to where they expected the best fucking game, not just a good enough game. Yeah, clearly nowadays those have sunk quite a bit. But oh, here's the city interactive games server room. I hope that wasn't Sniper Ghost Warrior. Bye bye. This is the Halo 3 server room. Bye bye. There goes Halo ODST as well. And a few of the Call of Duties. That's how most companies tend to do end of life, or, for people who aren't retarded robots. Um, Killing. Oh. And off he goes. Lovely. And away they went. Got a hammer. Yep. I love the art in these. Hey, wouldn't you know it? They're trying to do some nice lines too. Awesome. Well, anyway, I'll play this in the next part.